Hello everyone for stopping by to my brand new channel, Anya's Workshop. This is a brand new thing for me, and hopefully you'll give me a couple passes if I'm doing something wrong. Still trying to figure out this video thing, okay? I'll try to share as many tricks and techniques that I can with you guys, and if you have any requests, please leave a message. I'll try to answer questions and let's see how it goes. Okay? Thank you. Before we start painting anything, I want to give a big shout out to Chris from Classic Plastic 101 channel. His audience was amazing and they left me a lot of encouraging messages on my first video. Thank you, Chris. Okay, so today I'll try to show you how I do paint a basic skin tone. Okay, so I have Mr. Sulu from Star Trek, a model from Black Hearts Models. They have a very nice collection of amazing looking smaller busts that you can take out, paint it over a weekend, and enjoy the hobby. It's not a huge commitment like some of the other bigger kits. So, alright, let's start. So, Mr. Sulu was primed in white, and I actually did paint his skin earlier. On most of my models, I use Garage Kid Flash, but unfortunately, for now, it's very, very hard to find, and plus, Mr. Sulu is a little bit darker than I needed him to be. So, that Garage Kid Flash, so I decided to use this stuff. It's ink, and this one is Flash Tint, and if you can see, this is the difference. So one is more olive toned and the other one is more pink. Usually the way I paint my kits, I start with the lightest color, and that will be your highlight. And then I build the color on top of it. So you go from lightest to darkest. So for example, Captain Kirk was started with this color, and then I build it up all the way to what he looks now, like this. So, alright, so let's see, let's give it a try, and Mr. Sulu's going to get painted. So, shake your inks. It would help if I got some stuff in. Here you go. One very lightly coated layer of inks, and he already looks kind of decent. So I'm going to clean my airbrush and then we continue. Okay, so before painting the next layer, make sure the first layer is all nice and dry. Okay, so a lot of times I just use a hair dryer to speed it up. So for the next step, I wanna darken up certain areas. So what I do is I have pre-mixed colors that I'm going to use. So what I did is, this is acrylic glaze, around 2 parts of water to 1 part of acrylic glaze, so it's nice and watered down. So of course I have it all nice pre-mixed, ready to go, a little ball in it. And then I add a couple drops of ink. So I have the red ink up here, I have a green one, lilac purple, and sienna. I don't remember the names of them. I just go with what I have, and this is what I use. So a lot of times the name of the paint does not really matter. You just have to go in and kind of try to build it by the look of it. So you might run out of one paint, you can try something else. And direct measurements of stuff sometimes doesn't matter exactly either. So you just have to kind of feel the paint. But I know it's kind of hard for the beginners to just tell them, oh, do whatever. So let's say again, about 2 parts of water with 1 part of glaze mix, and about a couple drops of paint. So it's not too liquid, it's not too transparent, and it have enough color, but it still have the transparency feel to it. So alright, so this is the sienna color, the brownish color. Add a couple drops to your airbrush. And let's start building up some color around the eyes. Around the nose. Chin. Hopefully you can see it. I build the color slowly because you can always come back and add more. But if you overload the area, it will just leave a bunch of splatter. Inside the eye, a little bit on the lips. So, kind of nice and coming along, right? So, but for now it's still a little two-dimensional. So, okay. So this is what we have. Okay. Let me clean my airbrush a little bit. Then next I want to give a little more shadows with this lilac purple. Couple drops. And the purple is, because it have a glazing liquid, it will go in and will try to get in all the crevices. So that kind of makes it natural shadows. So kind of overspray it a little bit. This one is watered down a lot more. It doesn't have as much pigment in it. So it's kind of hard to see on this camera, but I promise you, there's a little bit of tint that gives it that more realistic skin tone. So now let's give it a couple seconds to dry, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, I hair dry it to speed it up a little bit. So next step would be give him a little blush. Same concept, a very thinly diluted glaze with a little bit of color. So for pink color, you want to go around the nose, cheeks, a little bit on the lips, and brighten up the chest area and go into the neck. So this looks pretty darn good. Okay. Okay, let's clean the airbrush, get the stuff out, and so he looks a little bit too pinkish for right now. So usually what I do, especially with the male faces, I use green to tone it down and bring that pinkiness away from it. It makes it look more realistic and not as pink, not as girlish, I guess. If it was a female body, female bust, I would probably leave most of it in like this. So, green, same concept. Green helps to add those shadows a little bit and tone down the pink. Contour the face, around the eyes. Don't forget the ears. A little bit here. Okay. I think we are almost done with the airbrushing part of this face. As you can see, I only used a couple colors. It was super quick because okay, as you can see, this is only what, 4 colors that I used, and it was pretty darn fast. It does involve having pretty good control of your airbrush, but in my opinion, you know, I guess I'm just used to it, but I like using it better from a lighter skin tone and just adding a little bit more darker shades than going from dark and building it the other way. But it's all about practice and what you're used to. So I'm going to dry him off right now and put a fixative on him, and then we go to the next step. Okay? Okay, so he's Mr. Sulu all nice and sealed and ready for a little bit more of his makeup, I guess. So, one of the backdraws about starting with the lighter skin to the darker is that we miss a bunch of little crevices, like the nose and inside the ears, and most of the time if you start with the darker skin, you flood all the areas so they will get the color, and then you go around it and you build it up to lighter. So or you can always have, if you have amazing skills with the airbrush, you can go in but it will still overflow to the lighter areas. So what I do usually, I cheat with the pastels. So we want to get those darker areas. So what I have is I use pan pastels. So this is one of those 5 colors that I use a lot for the skin. So I have red iron oxide, dark. This one is orange shade, red iron. Let's see, burnt sienna, and red iron oxide shade. So, brushes. Just a nice soft brushes. Doesn't have to be anything specific. Just a soft brush. Usually I use the tip one, the smaller one, to put the color in the crevices, and a larger brush. Sometimes I do a fan out and spread it around, blend it in. So let's do some shading. So let's So you put the color in and kind of wiggle it in. Take it off, excess, blow it off from your brush. Put it in, squish, blow. So right behind the ear, build a little bit darker right at the edge of it. And blend. So with a couple strokes, do you guys see the difference? So let's repeat on the other ear. One of the things to remember with pastels is that if you like how it looks, seal it between the layers and do not apply too many colors on the same area, because then it gets all dirty looking, and that's not what you want. So if you like something, seal it. You can always wipe it off with a Q-tip and water or a little bit of Windex. Blend it in. Tap, 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 tap. Blend. So here's where pastels are amazing. Nose. And that little tap tap around the nose, give it a little more definition. Blend. Edges of the mouth, corners. Kind of push the pigment right inside. brush most of it off, blend it in. A little bit of hairline, blending. Yeesh. Sorry about the blurriness. I keep noticing late. Okay, a little bit neck around the close. Blend. Hairline. Let's see. A little bit more up here. And let's put a little bit of color on his lips. Okay, so I am going to seal this baby and do another round in a second. Okay, so he's all nice sprayed and dry. So one of the things that when you use pastels and you seal them, you have to remember that a lot of different fixatives work differently with the pastels. So you have to figure it out how it's going to react. The reason why I use pan pastels is because it's artist grade colors, and they pack a lot of pigment in it. So only a couple of brush strokes, and and it's all ready. That does not mean that you cannot use the student grade pastels or stick pastels. They work just as well. So you just have to figure out how well they hold the pigment, because sometimes you just need a little bit of extra layers of it. So apply your pastels, seal it, probably practice on something that you're not going to keep or something, or even just a regular model. Put a pastel, spray it with your fixative, see how it reacts. A lot of times, if you use a lighter color and it doesn't have enough pigment, it will just fade in and you won't see it. So but that's not a problem because you can go in and apply the same color again. It just takes a little more longer. So I've been using pastels for years now, so hopefully you like them too. Okay, let's go back to Mr. Sulu and add a little bit, couple extra shadings. So we want to darken up here. Build up his chin a little. Blend in. So let's see, maybe a little bit around his nose. Okay, couple extra dark spots. And think he looks pretty darn good. So I'm going to seal this, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, so I sealed the top coat, spread it all around. So next step, I need to blend all of this in, because right now, I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera, but it's a little bit too sharp, the contrast between the colors. So we want to dull it down a little bit and make it look more natural. So going back to the airbrushing, so pink, I want to brighten up his nose a little bit. His lips, just a touch. And cheeks. Jawline. Okay, and let's see. And we need purple. I mean green. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Clean the hairbrush. So. Dry a little bit. And around the hairline again to darken up some areas. Chin. Okay. I think he's coming along just great. So now we have a nice olive skin with not too much pink or browns. Okay, time to seal him again. We'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back with Mr. Sulu. I was looking at him and comparing him to the other busts that I did recently from the same batch. So compared to Kirk, he looks a little bit too glowy. So I'm probably going to go in and dull it down with a little bit more green tint to tone it down a little bit. Right now he looks a little bit too more orangey than he should be, so he needs a little bit more olive skin than this sunny complexion. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I think I'm kind of done. So right at this point, you just have to see what you're looking for. The only reason I'm changing it is because he doesn't really fit with the rest of his voice. So let me know if you guys enjoyed it, if I should change something, if you want to see something else. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.